Come on in, come on in, come on in, beloved. As you all are coming in, please come into the comments and say hello. Um, to those of you who will watch this, but you won't watch this live, in other words, if it's not around the 12 o'clock hour on Tuesday, the last day of the month, September 30th, 2025, then you have the ability to then feel free to fast forward and move to whatever part of the check in is most valuable to you. To those of you who are here and are live, then hey, I'd love to hear from you. Come into the comments, let me know who you are, say hello. We're talking about walking by faith today. I think in this time and in this moment where things can really seem so dark, can really seem like in so many ways the enemy is winning. The violence that's erupting all over our country. I just think it's important to talk about what it means to continue to keep faith and to walk by faith. So that's what we're talking about today. That's our word. But we've got a lot to do today. Thank you all for those of you who were in the month of October. September. We just finished a series called The Confrontations of Jesus. I don't know what my next series is. I've got to figure out my next series for the entire year. I plan on doing that this week. But we'll definitely, hopefully by Thursday, I have something for you all as to what we'll be beginning in October. But as you all are coming in, please come into the comments and say hello. Those of you who are here, it is a check-in after all. Even if you're not going to stay, don't let that keep you from speaking. So if you're just passing by, pass by and say hi. I can't even see when you come and go, so you don't have to feel bad for saying hello and leaving. It will still bless me if you would just say hello. But I can see when you say hello. And since this is check-in, it just blesses us for all those who even just passing by, just come into the comments and speak. It blesses us a great deal if you would say hi. Also, for those of you who are coming in, of course, for our veterans of check-in to like and to share, hit that like button on YouTube, hit that like button on Facebook, and also hit that share button, and not so that we're not just worshipers, we're witnesses as well. You're right, Michael. All right, beloved. Here's the question of the day. Lock in. What is the last great news you heard in our country, in our community, or in your county? I want something local. I want something outside of like your personal life. I don't want your personal life. I want you to think CNN, or I want you to think local news. May not, and then may have just been something you heard about. But give me, what is the last great news you heard? We're in a season where there's a lot of bad news. So that's why the question of the day is, what is the last great news you heard in our country, in our community, or in your county? Just give me something good. Give me some good news that you've heard. That's our question of the day. We're also taking prayer requests. So if you have anybody you would like me to pray for today, please send your prayer request. Okay, I like this. Have to be a guinea pig. For makeup artist for Julia's upcoming film, so I may have to leave early. Well, listen, please tell Julia, even if you have to leave early, I think that's great. You're being a guinea pig for her. Tell Julia we're praying for her film, and praying for all her endeavors. And tell her we love her, definitely. Come in. For those of you who've come in, please say hello. Remember, I can't see when you come or go. So even if you're not going to stay, don't let that keep you from coming into the comments and say hello. But I can see when you say hello. So it blesses us a great deal in our check-in for you just to do what? Just to check in. So come in and at least say hi. If you got to leave, we totally understand. I love each and every one of you who are on this check-in to come into the comments and say hello. Let's see the hellos we have so far. Good afternoon, Lisa Lawson. Great to have you today. Ruby Broughton, good afternoon to you. It's great blessings to you and good to see you. Yolanda Ellis Taylor, always great to see you. And Evelyn Ellis, always great to see you all the way from Vermont. This is the month. Well, tomorrow starts October. But we're trying to come to Vermont, and I'll definitely let you know. We don't have any details, but when we do, I'll definitely let you know. Good afternoon, Dee Dee. Good to see you. Bird, great to have you, man. Good afternoon. And he says hello to all of our friends. All right. Good afternoon, Michelle Gordon. Great to have you. We're back to our question of the day. I want to know what some great news you heard. Great news in our country. Great news in our community. Great news in your county. Give me something news, not your family. I don't want your personal life. I don't want, my cousins getting married. I want you to try to think, try to push, whether it was on the news itself, whether it was, you know what? It can be any kind of news that's just outside of your personal family or your personal experience, right? So let me know. Let me know. That's the good news. Hey, good afternoon, Margaret White Darby. Janan, good to see you. Janan, you have not filled out the business thing. I was looking at those people who filled out. I'm calling you out because I expected to see your name. You need, and you right there at church the last 2 weeks. Ain't no reason for you not to get on that QR code and fill out your business. Because we want people to know about Gorgeously Growing. Hey, Cheryl Simon, hello, church from you. Yes, Friendship West Baptist Church, Dr. Freddie Haynes, Pastor Cheryl Simon Selena too. Now, is Pastor Cheryl Simon Selena a pastor at Friendship West? Y'all, Dallas is my hometown. Freddie Haynes, one of the really, really phenomenal speaker, one of the best preachers in the nation. Has a wonderful church, wonderful ministry in Dallas, Texas called Friendship West, if you've never heard of it. But it's good to see you, Cheryl Clark Simon. Tell me about where Cheryl Simon Selena, is she a pastor at Friendship West or somewhere else? I said hi to you, Margaret. Hello, Valencia. Listen, we're answering the question of the day, y'all. I need great news. I want my timeline. I want the comments filled. Think about it. What's the last great news you heard in your county? It can be in your community. It could be in the country, in the state of Georgia. Give me something. Come on, y'all. It's all kind of bad news. I need you to reach into your repertoire of good news and tell me the last great news you heard. All right. While you all are doing that, I'm going to start getting our prayer requests together. Whatever you say, however you want, each and every day. I know I saw somebody have a prayer request. Oh, here we go. Bill Collins, Star Ely. Gotcha. Margaret White Darby, I have you have your prayer request. If anybody has any prayer requests, we're answering the question of the day. We're also taking prayer requests. Y'all, give me some good news. Come on. I know somebody shared some great news somewhere. Um, I've got those prayer requests. Okay, looks like I'm caught up. All right, Evelyn Ellis has an answer for our question about the last great news she's had. I can't wait. Let's get into these comments and let's see. Um, Christopher Huckleberry, thank you for joining us today on our check-in. Glad to have you. Come on here and answer our question of the day. Where's my first answer? Oh, goodness. China? I'm definitely putting China into my prayers. I have her on your list, Margaret. Thank you so much. I know I saw Evelyn Ellis give me an answer. Here we go. The last great news we heard in Vermont area was that it was going to rain last Thursday. It did. Okay, we're in a drought and you have a garden plant. So I know that was important for you. It was blessed news. Thank you so much. That's all I'm looking for, you all. Great news that you've heard. Come on. Last great news you've heard. Somewhere in the world, somewhere in the country. Here's mine. That's not really great news. I don't even like this person. I mean, not I don't dislike him. I just don't know him. But you all know Bad Bunny was announced as going to be the Super Bowl halftime show. Honestly, one of the reasons I like it is because I know it's going to make some people mad. Isn't that sad? But I know it's going to make some people mad that they're going to be like, we don't know this artist. Bad Bunny is a Spanish-speaking artist. I don't know what country he's from. Let's look it up real quick. Let's see. Where is Bad Bunny from? Yep, here we go. Where is Bad Bunny from? Is a Google search. He is from Puerto Rico. So really, he's technically from the United States. Almirante Sur, Puerto Rico is where Bad Bunny is from. So a Puerto Rican brother. Puerto Rico has a very interesting relationship with the United States in that it is technically a part of the United States, but guess what? They don't have voting rights. Another way that, we talking about good news though, y'all. Let me get off of that. But so I like the fact this Puerto Rican brother is going to be on okay. Good to see you, Lisa Norwood. Glad to have you. I ate my eggs, love them, love them. I'll be back. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring my dozen Sunday. I'm ready for my next dozen. It's interesting that this is a hard question, Lisa. I know that's what's so sad. Falcons won. That I'll take that as news. I'll take that as good news. Since you're going there, then Oregon beat Penn State. I feel like that was good news. Oh, Bird, you knew where Bad Bunny was from? That's impressive. Yes, ma'am. I know you know my family. I was in the town I live in. In Salina, Texas. Is that what you were saying earlier? Oh, you're saying you were giving where you were from. Okay. Hello, church family. Okay, now I get it. Greetings from Friendship West Baptist Church. Dr. Freddie Haynes is the pastor, and you're saying you're Cheryl Simon from Salina, Texas. Got it. I do know you know my family. I know that. I know that. It's good to see you and good to have you. I totally messed that up. Thank you so much. We're asking, what is the last great news you heard? Let me get Veronica. Here we go. This is terrible. I cannot recall any good news. Let's say I heard someone had a birthday, and I'm going to make it a point to start looking for good news. You should. Let me see. Let me look at my news. That's crazy, y'all. I don't have any much good news. You know what? This is gonna be a question we bring back at least like once a month. Because this is tough. This is tough. Okay, so here's my great news. The last great news that I heard. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to, y'all, I got a new upgrade on my phone. And what that has meant is I've got to re-log in to all of my apps. It is the worst. I don't know about y'all. I forget all my passwords. I keep them somewhere, so that's good. But I'm about to try to give you my good news. I want to make sure I'm right about this. Okay. Y'all, we're trying to find great news, and then we're gonna get into this word. Um, Ebony, you say you glad Bad Bunny is performing too to make them mad. Yeah, I hate to say that, but it is. You know, a lot of people were mad when Kendrick Lamar was going because it wasn't their brand of music. And so I heard somebody say they hope Bad Bunny does everything in Spanish. So people really just be offended. Um, what is the problem? My good news. Oh, of course, this would be today. I was gonna say cryptocurrency is up, but then I looked on my little thing and it's down. So that there goes my good news. Let me try to find something else. Um, is this your good news? Ruth and Boaz is topping in the movies. That's a movie. Ruth and Boaz, like a movie, like in like AMC and Regal. Let me see. Ruth and Boaz is a movie, y'all. Can somebody tell me about the Ruth and Boaz movie? Where is it? Is it on Netflix or something? Lisa, tell me about what is Ruth. Oh, Netflix. Okay, there he is. I didn't pass on your hello, did I? I'm sorry. Hello, Dr. Evelyn. That was good to have you. Good to see you. Oh, okay, Netflix. Hey, Adrian, good to see you. All right, y'all. Let's see. What else do we have? I've been connected with my family. With family we never knew. My father's officially connected us with biological dad's side after 70 years. We'll take it. We'll take that as great news. We'll take that. Give me some great news, you all. Great news. Let me look in the news. I don't know if this is great news, but they found a fossil of a dinosaur in Argentina in the recent time, and it was holding a crocodile arm in its mouth. They believe it was 19 years old. Is that great news? I don't know. Um, it's so funny, y'all, because when I even look at my little app news, because I read the news every day, there's not much great news. Okay, y'all, this question has made me do this. I want you all to start noting and start documenting when you see good news, when you see great news. Here's some great news. Here's some great news. Probably since the last time we had our check-in, because we were gone all last week. Bryce is safe and sound. For those of you who were praying for Bryce and asking, Bryce is in Oregon. His first day of class was yesterday. He's on the quarter system, so they start much later. So many people were confused. Like everybody else in college, yes. Very few colleges still are on the quarter system. University of Oregon is one of those. He had his first day of class. He's in an apartment. He's with three of his teammates. They live in an apartment together, so he's loving life. He couldn't wait to get back from Atlanta. I've been kind of sad, y'all. I've been kind of missing him. But here we go. The good Lord blessed my sister with B-Days, Tammy Owens White. Okay, we'll take that. Tell Tammy Owens White happy birthday. My great news is the Dawson is gainfully employed doing something he really likes. Now, y'all, I'm going to take this, but just for those who came later, it's supposed to be great news that goes beyond your personal family. That's funny. Evelyn Ellis told her. But, I missed your great news, Yolanda. Let me come back. Oh, that is. Thank you. Okay, I like this. Judge Penny Brown Reynolds is running for Secretary of State. That is great news. Judge Penny Brown Reynolds. I believe didn't she go to a church? It's up off of Old National. I forget the name of the church, but if you go up Old National right before you get 285, you make a turn, and there's some church off Old National. I think she attends. All right, let me make sure nobody gave a prayer request or great news, and if not, Okay, I like this. I like this. We will soon have signatures needed to force a vote for the Epstein files. Thank you, Adrian. Come in here and help us today. We're struggling. Good afternoon, Deacon Burton. Good to have you. This is hilarious. I heard Jesus was coming back. Well, he is. I guess that is news. Although the rapture that was predicted didn't happen, or we all got left behind, y'all. Maybe God's giving us another chance. Okay, you have prayer requests, Deacon Burton. Let me get those, and I'm gonna go to the word, you all. I'm gonna go to our word. If you've not liked and shared, like and share right now as I'm getting this last. Let me put that up there. Go ahead and like and share. If you've not liked and shared, and we're about to get into this word for the day. We are about to get into this word. Our goal, we learned from our question of the day, is that we need to start paying attention to when we have good news. Because it's sad that I asked thinking it was going to be easy and really found out it really was kind of hard. All right, I have your prayer request, Deacon Burton. Let's go ahead and get into our word, you all. Our word is coming from my book, Live Greater, Think Deeper, Love Better, Spiritual Reflections for the Heart, Mind, and Soul. We're on page 40. We're talking about walking by faith. Okay, what? Uh-oh, my comment was not read. Margaret White Darby. Let me find you, Margaret White Darby. Okay. Is this the comment? Ruth and Boaz is highly rated. I'm going to watch it again. Awesome. That's the news. This is another great news. Okay, two people. Ruth and Boaz is topping the movie. Miss Margaret White Dog, did I get your comment? We got a Falcons one. I got that. If I missed any comments, y'all, come into the comments right now. Okay, I got you. All right, good. Here we go. We are going into our word. We're talking today about walking by faith. I think in this time where we do have so much bad news, where it does seem so dark for so many of us, where it seems like we're hearing nothing but, military troops being released in Portland, the church that was run into and shot up in Michigan, North Carolina had a big shooting. It's just important that we remember that sometimes we can't simply walk by and live by what we see. We have to believe in something higher. We have to believe in something bigger, even when it's counter to the evidence around us. Faith may be the most frequently used, yet hardest to get our practical mind around. It's maybe one of the most difficult words in the Christian vocabulary. When I ask people, what does it really mean to have faith? Often, so many of us, it's hard to define, to give a practical definition of faith. The difficulty in grasping faith is not so much in defining it as in living it. When we hear the frequently quoted scriptures, the just shall live by faith, that's Habakkuk 2, verse 4. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. That's Hebrews 11, verse 6. It becomes clear, beloved, that faith is something that is extremely important to our spirituality. But recently, when I was asked to talk about faith practically, I was asked to speak somewhere, and they said, we want you to talk about the practical fruits of faith. I must admit that I was initially stumped. How do we talk about walking in faith in a practical sense? If faith is worth its salt, beloved, you must be able to walk in it. But what does that look like? How does a life of faith play itself out in the world? How does it move beyond simple claims about God's existence, right? Or acknowledging God's existence, or belief in the facts of Jesus's life, that he actually was born in Bethlehem or born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth and traveled through Jerusalem and died in Jerusalem. I mean, what does faith mean beyond just acknowledging those facts, or even intellectual assent to the wondrous works of the Creator, right? We can acknowledge, God created this. Many of us would thank God for our life, but is that really walking and living in faith? Just intellectual acknowledgement of God's existence? The other Sunday, I received the beginning of an answer in one of the simply worded melodic classics of the church. Growing up as a boy, few Sundays went by without someone singing the rendition of the profoundly timeless hymn, I Will Trust in the Lord. Y'all remember that? I will trust. Come on, y'all. In the Lord, I will trust. That's what we used to sing in Sweet Home Baptist Church, you all. This song, whose title is really the content of the first verse. If those who don't know it, that's all you sing, the first verse. I will trust in the Lord. That's all you do. You sing it over and over again, right? Begins by making a statement of faith. I will trust in the Lord. But then it's followed verse by verse of a fleshing out of what a life of faith looks like. Consider some of the verses of I will trust in the Lord. First verse, one of the verses says, I'm going to treat everybody right. Yes. Another verse says, I'm going to stay on the battlefield. Another verse says, I'm going to watch, fight, and pray. Now, the majesty of this song cannot be understood without some understanding of its setting. The song, you all, was sang and comes out of the hearts of people who were suffering from the violence of American slavery and the zenith of racial oppression. Imagine that. Black people whose ancestors were enslaved and who were living through Jim Crow and such ragged treatment by our government, by police, by bankers, by schools. Black people who were in the trenches of racial oppression would sing this song, I'm going to trust in the Lord. Now, every week I have to go into a world that does not like people who look like me. Every week I have to go into a world where we are the first fired and the last hired. But we would have the nerve to get in the church and sing, I'm going to trust in the Lord. In a world with political inequality, in a world with rape, human brutalization, people definitely sang the second verse that says, listen to this, I am going to treat everybody right. What does that mean in a world where people clearly aren't treating everybody right? Really? Why would such a wronged people declare that they would live with a universal commitment to right treatment? Stop, rewind, play. Why would people who are wronged daily, who live in a world where by the color of their skin, they get wrong treatment, sing a song where they want to live by a creed that's opposite of their experience? I'm going to treat everybody right. You see, beloved, this only makes sense if there is a loftier way of living, a higher way of thinking, and a transcendent reality to which their actions appealed. What does that mean? In other words, people who sang, I'm going to treat everybody right in the midst of a world that treated them wrong, they weren't appealing to their experience. They were appealing to something higher. They weren't appealing to what they were feeling or what they were getting. They were appealing to something they knew that was beyond the surface. Likewise, in the following verses, I'm going to stay on the battlefield, and I'm going to watch, fight, and pray. Speak to a choice of commitments that would seem to have been futile without political, military, or economic power. When you live in a world where you are constantly being treated wrong and you are powerless by most identifiable measures, choosing to swim against the tide, go against the grain, and commit yourself to practices that have no visible results is to walk by faith. It's the commitment of a Michelle Obama to say, when they go low, we go high. The only way you can be in this world and keep your moral base is if you're walking by faith. Faith that in the midst of sin, God still reigns. Faith that in the midst of a hate-filled world, love still has its place. Faith that in the midst of the devil winning so many battles, God, we believe, will still win the war. Put another way, Black people's choice to love their wider community, to love their country, and to love themselves is a prime example of faith. Sitting in church the other day, I listened to the praise team sing this song. And as they went through the verses, a theological light bulb popped up in my head. Walking by faith is living as if there is something higher than our hands can grasp, better than our eyes can see, deeper than our senses can feel. Can I say that again? Walking by faith is living as if there is something higher than our hands can feel, better than our eyes can see, and deeper than our senses can feel. Right now, we're in a dark time. How do we hold our head up as if we're in the light? By faith. Right now, it feels like we're regressing in our country. And all the progress, so much progress that we made is regressing. How do we keep our hope in this time? By faith. Living in faith is to refuse to be tyrannized by the visible, swept away by conventional wisdom, or consumed by common sense. It is making the choice to listen for a call that gives fulfillment instead of searching for a career that guarantees finances. It is choosing love over power. It's choosing acceptance and hospitality over xenophobia and hate of other people. Walking by faith is choosing to give and to be generous over a world that teaches us to be greedy. Walking by faith is choosing to love and to commit to community in a world that teaches us to be individualistic and live in individualism. Walking by faith is to connect one's actions to commitments that do not always have immediate gratification or instant manifestations. As the great Negro spiritual understood, trusting in the Lord is defined by how we act. Trusting in the Lord is defined by how we live. Trusting in the Lord is not defined by what we say. Trusting in the Lord is to choose to love people who hate you. Trusting in the Lord is to choose to forgive people who wrong you. See, you can forgive someone who's wronged you when you're doing it by faith, because what's generating your forgiveness is not the worthiness of the other person or the actions of the other person, but it is the presence of God. God, because of who you are, I can forgive this person. That's walking by faith. I may not see visible results. I may forgive someone who never gives me an apology. I may forgive someone whose behavior never changes. I may forgive someone who never loves me. I may forgive someone who talks behind my back. But I'm walking not by what they do. I can see what they do. I can experience what they do. But because I have the faith in a God that's bigger than their actions, I can forgive. I'm just trying to help somebody to walk by faith. Walking by faith is to have hope when your president is loveless. Walking by faith is to have hope when your president it goes against almost every Christian. Walking by faith is committing to the cause of Christ when pastors and preachers all over this country are forgetting about Jesus. Walking by faith. I will trust in the Lord. And because I'm going to trust in the Lord, I'm going to treat everybody right. I'm going to stay on the battlefield. I'm going to watch, fight, and pray. Today, I want to challenge someone to do something that doesn't make sense, to love somebody even when it doesn't feel right. Today, I want to challenge someone not to live in your immediacy of your experience, of what you see, of what you feel. Yes, you see darkness, but walking by faith is believing there's light. Yes, you are frustrated. And yes, your situation seems dim. But walking by faith believes that deliverance is around the corner, that God is going to open a door, that God can clear a path, that God can change a circumstance, that God can make a difference. And you all, I'm believing that no matter what we're going through, no matter what we are experiencing, there is a blessing on the other side. There is a deliverance that I believe God still has a trick up God's sleeve. I believe that we still have another round to play. If we were playing spades, you all, I believe we might still get a blind six. Come on, somebody. Somebody talk to me about who knows what I'm talking about. Walking by faith. Every head bowed, every eye closed, every heart praying. God, we love you today, and I'm praying, God, on behalf of us in a time where faith often seems hard. Today, God, we want to acknowledge that the circumstances in our personal life, the circumstances in the life of our communities, our countries, our counties, our state, God, it can get sad sometimes. Really, it can get depressing sometimes. And God, we can begin to question whether you are really on the throne. Why does suffering continue to expand? Why does evil continue to win? Why does wrong continue to be prevalent in our country and in our community? And so, God, we come admitting, God, that there are circumstances in our life that make us sometimes question our faith. God, today there's someone in their personal life who's in a dark place and a dark time. Things are not going how they want them to go. People are not acting how they want them to act. Circumstances are not unfolding how they want them to unfold. God, today I'm praying over someone who's frustrated with their relationship status. Today I'm praying with someone who's frustrated over their career. I'm praying today with someone who's frustrated over their health. I'm praying today with someone who has a loved one in the hospital or who's sick and they're praying for them to get well. Today, God, I'm praying amongst and with a people who have very real problems, who have very real struggles. And God, I'm praying today that you would give us faith. Faith to smile in the midst of frown-like situations. Faith to continue to laugh in the midst of sadness. Faith to continue to hope in the midst of despair. Faith to continue to keep going when everything else tells us to stop, when everything tells us to quit, when everything tells us to throw in the towel. God, I'm praying that you would inject us with faith. Faith to keep on. Faith to move on. Faith to press on. God, I'm praying, God, that for every person who will watch this live, hear this word, and be a part of this prayer, that you would interject us with new levels of faith. God, cover us, drown us in a sea of faith, God. God, when we breathe, let us breathe faith. When we drink, let us digest faith. When we eat, let us swallow faith. God, when we live, God, let us walk faith. When we talk, God, let us talk faith. God, let us have a new wave of faith in our life. God, today I'm come praying not just for those on today in this moment, but God, today I'm also praying for those who we've called by name. And so today, God, I'm lifting Robert Alston, Gloria Robinson, and M. Robinson. I'm praying right now for Margaret White Darby and Valeria Boykin, Sean Lewis, Leon Martin, Ayana Shankar, and Daryl Palmer. I'm praying for Symphony Serenity and Shyla, but I'm also praying, God, your healing over China's life, God. God, I'm praying that you would work a miracle, God. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know where you're going to do it, but if she now struggles with 2 autoimmune diseases, God, I'm praying that the anointing of your miraculous power would come over her life. I'm praying for Star Epps Lee and Bill Collins. I'm praying for Kendra Shipman and Angela Smith. I'm praying for Andrea Kedra Mitchell. I'm praying for Melanie Dukes. I'm praying for Altoria May and Craig Epps. I'm praying for Joy Treadwell. I'm praying for Julie Kwong, Patty Perry, Patricia Perry. I'm praying for Tracy Blackwell, James Walker. I'm praying for Bryce Jackson and Heather Manley. God, you know the circumstances and you know the situation. I'm praying for Tracy Dawson today, God. And for anybody who I've may forgotten, I'm praying that in your omniscience, God, that you, God, will move, that you will remember us, that you will anoint, that you will bless, that you will deliver, that you will see through, that you will lift up, that you will give increase, that you will bless, that you will give abundance to. God, that you will do it in ways that we can neither ask or imagine. God, I'm praying for your presence. I'm praying for your power, and I'm praying for your peace in every step of our life. Move us to be better, to live better. As we end this month and go into a new month, I'm praying for productivity in the month of October. I'm praying for blessings in the month of October. I'm praying for more activity in our limbs in the month of October. I'm praying for more discipline in our life in the month of October. I'm praying for joy to be increased in the month of October. I'm praying for tears to be wiped in the month of October. God, for anyone who's on this line, I'm touching and agreeing with the prayers that they're praying silently in their heart. If they're praying for their children, God, I'm touching and agreeing right now. If they're praying for their country, God, I'm touching and agreeing right now. If someone's praying for their career and their finances, I'm touching and agreeing right now. God, whatever the prayers of your people are, God, I stand in agreement, God, with the saints of God and the sinners. I'm standing in agreement with members, worshipers, guests alike, God, that you would show up in very real, powerful, and tangible ways. And God, as you continue to move in eternity, we will continue to give you the glory and praise in time. This is my prayer. I pray it in Jesus' name. Amen and thank God. Beloved, I ran a little long today. I didn't even know it was the time it gotten us like this. But thank you all so much for staying with us. Thank you for worship, coming in to check in. We'll be the same time, the same place next week as we go to our many different destinations. You know what I'm going to do. I'm touching and agreeing with each and every one of you. And so I'm touching and agreeing with you, Auntie Diva. I'm touching and agreeing with you, Evelyn Ellis, Deacon Patricia Burton. I'm touching and agreeing with you. I'm touching and agreeing with each and every one of you. May God bless each and every one of you. May God keep each and every one of you. Okay, I'm touching and agreeing, Michelle Gordon. I'm touching and agreeing with Yolanda Ellis Taylor, Miss Ruby Broughton, and Margaret White Darby, and Miss Lisa Lawson. Touching and agreeing with all of you all. We'll be here the same time, same place, Thursday at 12. May God bless each and every one of you. May God keep each and every one of you. And please remember to live in love. You all have a great day.